Welcome everyone, John Bodine here with Redemptive Psych, and here we're committed to exploring and understanding the personality types and ourselves, and through that exploring our Creator through His creations. Today we're starting our series on the personality types, on the 16 types. In this video we're talking about the ESFP. We're going to make it a short video, an introductory video, a video that you can share and that you can take within a few minutes and understand the ESFP in broad strokes. Now, the ESFP is one of the 4 artisan types, the SP types. This means that they are committed to freedom, to expressing themselves, and to mastering the environment around them. The 3 words that I picked for the ESFP are freedom, expression, and achievement. They're all about their freedom. Don't try and control them. Don't try and constrict them. Their freedom of choice with their introverted intuition inferior is the most important thing that they try and protect. They're very expressive people. They are kind of walking entertainers. Entertainer is actually the word that the MBTI uses for them. And kind of wherever they go, there's a natural spotlight that tends to follow. And third, achievement. They, over the course of their lives, they often achieve great things. They make things, not always things that other people think are huge, but that they invest in over time. They do care what other people think, so the things that they do invest in are often, often boost their own status and are recognizable achievements. Real quick on the MBTI, I only use the letters because that's what the type is known as. Don't pay too much attention to the letters. Where the actual meat of the personality type is, in my opinion, is in the functions and in the attitude/archetypes. This is where the heart of a type really exists, in my opinion. So starting with the top tool, the strongest function of the ESFP, called the hero function, the place where they're naturally competent and confident, is extroverted sensing, or SE. Sensing is awareness of the environment. Extroverted means external. It's an external awareness of the environment. They are very good at manipulating the environment. They're naturally good athletes, good mechanics. They're also really good at getting reactions from other people. They love to soak up reactions, which is why they are natural performers. They love to perform for people and feeling that excitement of the eyes on them and being able to manipulate their craft to bring more people to watch. That really excites the ESFP. And that inspires them to work hard and to pick something that creates connection with others and gains respect for themselves in the long term. Next is their parent function, the place where they're responsible, a little more cautious, a little more pessimistic. This is FI parent, introverted feeling parent. They're very responsible with what they feel, with their own emotions. They may expose themselves to feeling certain things, but then protect themselves from feeling other things. They're very sensitive to what they feel, and they naturally protect it. Introverted feeling parent, the ESFP can also have a proclivity to be a little self-important. This is related a bit to the opposite, extroverted feeling critic, where ESFPs naturally devalue other people a little bit. They have this temptation to look at other people as less worthwhile than they are, as more worthless, and to dismiss what they care about, because from the ESFP's perspective, it's like, I'm so careful about what I care about and where I invest that I see other people not caring so much about that, or not putting in as much time to decide what to invest in, that I'm just going to dismiss them. And that, especially when they're young, is a big problem for them, and that can push other people away that the ESFP, if they were wiser, would actually keep around. When they mature a little bit, they actually use their investment and their sense of worth, and they share that with other people, and they help build up other people instead of just gaining attention and status for themselves. That's sort of the binary of their lives. Are you, ESFP, going to be more committed to soaking up the attention and the achievements for yourself, or are you going to give back to other people? And there's a principle in the Bible that basically says, if you're willing to lose anything, you will actually gain that thing more. If you're willing to lose some status to stick up for what you believe in, ESFP with FI parent, with what I believe, if you're willing to stick up for that, in the end, you're actually going to get more loyalty and more status instead of just going with what people think is cool or where the attention is. What do you stick up for? Next is TE child, extroverted thinking child. This is extrovert thinking that acts like a child. ESFPs dream of being a star, of people thinking the world of them, of having that celebrity status. They're very naturally drawn to that. But ESFPs can have this endearing star-like quality. It's part of the way they kind of walk on water, and they have a spotlight wherever they go because they know how to charm people. They're very disarming with SE Hero. They make them comfortable. They're very charming with knowing how to help people think better about the world. They can build up encouragement in other people through inserting a perspective of, hey, I know you feel bad about this, or you're thinking this way. Have you thought about thinking about this way instead? And they can build up life in other people through their little child, showing them a different way to think about it. Next, their inferior function. This is the place where every type has their natural insecurity, their natural anxiety. For the ESFP, their inferior function is introverted intuition inferior. They are very afraid to commit to choose a path. They are scared to choose something because as soon as you choose one thing, ESFPs, you feel like you're saying no to 1,000 other things. It's like one door opens and 1,000 others close. And how should I know that if I made the right choice? Along with choices is a fear of losing out on their freedom, of being trapped, of being stuck. And they are kind of haunted by the idea that whatever choice they make may lead to them being trapped and stuck and in pain. They really fear that. Next is SI Nemesis, introverted sensing Nemesis. The Nemesis directly counteracts the hero. So just as SE Hero is aware of other people's experience and their level of comfort, SI Nemesis is like worried that the ESFP is uncomfortable. Hey, have you taken care of yourself? Are you comfortable or are you uncomfortable? This kind of pairs with NI Inferior, where they're both afraid of the future and afraid of their past, of missing out on things. They really like to gather memories with their SE Hero. They love to create experiences and then to be able to reflect on those later. They want to make sure they have a rich life that they can look back on and say, I lived well. Next, the critic function. This is the place where we're very critical and we act like an old grandpa or an old grandma who looks at the world and says, back in my day it used to be different. Extroverted feeling critic with the ESFP. Again, they are very critical of how other people feel. They are protective and cautious and careful with how they navigate their own emotions, and they look at other people just expressing their emotions like they don't affect anyone else, and they kind of dismiss those people and like, you are not being careful with how you feel. When they become a little wiser, they recognize that, hey, I recognize that my own worth, I am flawed as I am, and that other people are flawed too, and that I can give some grace to them instead of judging them. This conversation here between the parent and the critic, between my own worth and other people's worth, or their lack of worth, wherever the ESFP lands with that is going to dictate the path of their life. Are you going to be someone who is selfish and entitled and dismissive of other people, or are you going to give them some grace, just as you give yourself grace? Are you going to share that grace with other people too? Next is their trickster function. I mentioned they're a little bit of an airhead sometimes. They don't always have a grasp of logic. With time, with practice, they can develop some of it, but their path to that is through the child, through learning things, through exposing themselves to different opinions and different perspectives, and filtering through that with recognizing if someone has put in the work to gain their perspective, if they actually have value to what they're saying, to having some standards of what you allow yourself to, what information you allow yourself to be exposed to. All that can help protect your trickster from its blind spots. So research, but research carefully with what you expose yourself to. And then lastly is the demon, also called the underminer. It's the thing that the ESFP isn't always aware of, but it's actually one of the things that is stealing life from them, so to speak. In demon, extroverted intuition demon for the ESFP is where they naturally and unconsciously often take away choices from other people. It's all about my choice. If my choice gets taken away, everybody's going down with the ship. A story in the Bible where Samson is strapped to the pillars and he breaks the pillars and the whole temple or the whole building comes crumbling down and everyone's futures is taken away because they were imprisoned and their choice was taken away. I don't think he was a ESFP, I think he was an ESTP, but the mechanic is still the same. They get really, really anxious when they feel the walls closing in. And when in that moment, they naturally take away choices from others. But they also take away choices when they're being a little selfish, of like, no, the spotlight's mine, I'm taking away that opportunity for you, and it's going to be mine. sometimes they can go so far as to sabotage other people to ruin their opportunities and ensure that the ESFP has a choice. That is part of a lifelong struggle, and the demon is the indicator of each type's lifelong struggle. But in general, the ESFPs, they are, when they're mature and when they're acting unselfishly, they are life to other people. When they walk into a room, it lights up. They can't help it, and they're very contagious, and they're very giving, charming, and disarming in that way. So that's the ESFP in short. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.